Hello, my name's Michael Conneely, and this part 1 video is all about the wonderful potential of the eclipse of the 20th of April 2023 for you and for me. Also see the part 2 video which warns us about 5 danger features of this eclipse. So, starting the part 1 video, this eclipse new moon of the 20th of April gives us alive, awake energy and sense of power that will run for some time. Sun and moon are at 5 Aries using the sidereal zodiac of Vedic astrology. That's 29 Aries in the Western tropical zodiac. And the thing is, Pluto is square this new moon eclipse. So let's start with the nature of Aries, the sign in which this eclipse falls. So this means that this eclipse new moon carries the power and action energy of Aries, which some of us may feel is rather overdue coming into our life, so needed to feel and ride in our life path now. Now, Aries is ruled by Mars. It's pure warrior energy. It's the drive for the victory of our desires and ambitions and needs. It's fire energy. It's leadership, it's courage, it's energy focused. But incidentally, see the part 2, below, the Mars energy is in fact some ways wounded now because Chiron square Mars. Plus, though, there's a genuine increase in the power that we can use now to express ourselves and our projects, to embody properly and fully, to achieve our new goals. Also, to achieve our long-standing project attempts that might not just have been getting anywhere. So what are your ambitions now? Have you been feeling you've been getting nowhere in your projects? Have you been feeling your crucial goals just haven't been coming to fruition? Well, now is the time. Crucially, because this is an eclipse, it's dam burst energy, and it will stay in this area of the heavens for a year or two. But the nature of Pluto comes into it because Pluto is square this eclipse. Now Pluto is our power, including our buried power, and including our potential need at any point in our life for a death and rebirth process. Pluto, its place in our chart, can also show where we need to heal power used over us, or situations where we are cut off from our power in this life. Get a reading from me about this. But on top of this, note super importantly that Pluto is also square the nodal axis. What happens to you around issues of power in your life and your understanding of expression of power in your life will have fated dimensions and implications at this time. So the next point that needs to be understood is that Lilith is square Uranus at the time of this eclipse. So we must be revolutionary. We must be true to ourselves now. We must not let others suppress our individuality now. This is the time in expressing your heartfelt, central, true project to find freedom and independence, which we were born to have, in order to be able to express the real you in the success of your project. So this is a time to break through wrong restrictions imposed by others or self-imposed patterns that you have let hold sway over you up to now. Make the dramatic changes you need and really want now. But also, as I said, there's a part 2 which lists 5 dangers of this eclipse energy. Beware of failing to look before you leap. The danger potential of Lilith square Uranus is that your anger could bubble up and overspill and you could get obsessed. So the next point, so important to understand, is that Jupiter is in the Gandanta zone now. Now the Gandanta zones are the 3 points in the Vedic chart using the sidereal zodiac where a water sign dissolves away to its end, and following it is the first flicker of fire where water sign transitions to fire sign. And Jupiter is at 29 degrees Pisces at the time of this eclipse, so it's at the very end of a water sign, in the void, in the Gandanta, looking across to the first flare of fire, which is Aries. Now the Gandanta zones are zones of immateriality. And Gandanta is one of the numerous, uniquely powerful, essential concepts of Vedic astrology that Western astrology has no knowledge of whatsoever. So Gandanta energy is not material, but its goal is to open us to vastness, to the divine reality that lies beneath our material realm here on earth, where we incarnate to work out our negative karmas and our positive karmas, our issues from past life and our destined goal in this life. So, whilst Jupiter transits the Gandanta between Pisces and Aries from the 13th to the 30th of April, this is such a good time to be open to the eternal, to messages coming to us from the eternal. Let those intuitions, thoughts, and visions empower you. Receive them. Note their meaning. Grow your awareness of them. Deepen your spiritual perception at this time to your current life, your current project. And so this Jupiter in the Gandanta at the time of the April the 20th eclipse can really transform you and that project that you have been nursing along with no resolution. And it can really transform the dimensions of that new project that you actually finally decide to undertake now. And so it's important to say, this is such a good time for vision work and healing sessions. I can add these to your reading if you book a reading with me. Do you have a vision of your needed destination at this time? As ever, I include a separate vision journey where I seek to envision and grasp the energies of this eclipse and seek to share that with you. And so the questions you need to do to prepare for this are, if you want to use that approach, do you need to have a vision of your destination now? Do you need to have a vision of what in you and your life is holding you back now? Do you need to do some self-hypnosis and vision healing to identify what is holding you back now? Do you need to do some self-hypnosis and vision healing as to how to conquer or heal yourself if you are, for example, letting the power that is you slip through your fingers now to ruin your life fulfillment, to ruin the project of your heart now, if you have one? Are ancestral issues holding you back? If you go to our Love Star Dating website, go to the Claire Louise Nifton healer page, and she offers healings of ancestral issues. And if your goal is relationship at this time, and relationship issues are very highlighted at this time because Ketu is transiting the Vedic sign of Libra, the sign of relationships, then get a reading about your relationship issues and your relationship from Janelle Renshaw for gay women love relationships, and Leah Cruz for gay men relationships. The links are in the blog to these people I'm naming. So, what area of your life will be especially affected by the energy of this eclipse? Well, we know that this eclipse is in Aries, in the sign of Aries. But it's also really important to know what house in your Vedic chart is the sign of Vedic Aries. In other words, what life area of yours will be affected by this eclipse? For example, and this is to name just one example only, if Aries is your 10th house in your birth chart, well, that's the house of career. And so your career will take a real boost now, and or will undergo a death and rebirth, a needed death and rebirth now. So this eclipse will impel you to look deeper at your career matters, at your approach and your handling of your career, at the very nature of your career. Is it right for you? Does it need tweaking? Does it need replacing? Now, in the example I've just given of eclipse falling in the 10th house of career, well, you should, and you probably need a reading for this, check out your D10 divisional chart, the Dashamsha chart. So the divisional charts are the wonderful Varga charts of Vedic astrology, which are derived from the birth chart, and each of them says something magnificent about a specific area of our life, and the D10 covers your career. So your Dashamsa chart gives you such very good guidance as to the nature of your career energy, of your career focus, which might be different from the more general energies of your personality. So be aware of this, use that declaration, consider it. So in the case of this example, at the time of this eclipse, align to that way, declared by the D10, of projecting into the world in your career matters. Be true to that, including, of course, at the time of this eclipse especially. Check out the nature of the first house in your D10 Dashamsha chart as well, because, importantly, that first house of how you project into the world might suggest a quite different approach to your life expression and focus of career matters than is true for the energy of your life as a whole. And it's very important and helpful to know that. So part 2 video and blog are all about notes of caution, 5 warnings about the nature of this eclipse. But to end this part 1, I'd like to say, get in touch with me for an astrology reading about your life, about your year ahead, about your relationship, whatever, including how this eclipse will impact you and how you can most successfully handle it. I'll be glad to give you a reading where all will be revealed. My readings are immensely thorough and well prepared. And my readings always combine Western astrology with Vedic astrology. And they are always geared to healing and spiritual growth. So to get a reading, you can go to my Star Wheel Astrology buy page. And for relationship astrology work, go to the Love Star Dating website. So I hope this part 1 video has been helpful. Do now go to part 2, which lists 5 danger energies of this eclipse of the 20th of April. Thank you.